Hey, what's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time. And welcome to another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I speak to a brother out of Philadelphia. His name, Derrick Eason, one of the funniest men I've ever met. Check out this interview we did right now. What's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time with another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I'm speaking to a brother out of the Philadelphia area. You know how I met this brother, folks? I met him on a Carnival cruise ship. He was one of the comedians, and he made me laugh. I'm laughing so hard right now, I want to cry. Yes, and I can't wait for you to meet him. So without further ado, let me bring in Derrick Eason.
Thank you, brother Andrew. DJ Andrew with the screw. I love it. How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. How you been? What have you been up to?
My neck. I've been up to my neck in pandemic. Man, you don't understand. You don't understand. You know what? I don't even want to even get into it because it's kind of like I'm getting ready to plug in the generator. I live in Philadelphia, living off a damn generator. That's how hard times is right now, bro.
Yo, I was in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago. I went in there. Yeah, because my aunt had an 80th birthday. 80. I'm telling you, I never saw a person live that age in my lifetime. But my aunt, she outlived everybody.
How old is she too?
80.
She ain't getting no older?
She can't get no older than 80 right now, man. She's done aging.
I tell you what, 80 is good. 80 is damn good, man. Damn good. I love that. I love it. I hope I live to 80, man. I tell you, I almost didn't make it to past 50, man. I aged in 2020. I aged at least 10 years.
Wow. Yeah. Well, 2020. I think a lot of us aged at least 10 years.
Hey.
Especially because they were stuck in the house with all our kids. Oh.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm used to being on the road, son. I'm used to being working. Now I'm quarantined. I learned things. Like I got a wife.
You didn't know you had a wife?
Man, I'm in and out the house. I'm changing clothes. I got things to do. I got gigs to do. I thought that was just like I mean, I ain't saying she was like.
You saying she was a hired help?
No. See, you said that. I ain't say that. I actually stopped talking before I said anything else.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Hey, just want to say, Derrick is a good man. He works hard for his money.
Hard for my money and whoever's in the house. That's what I'm saying. I work hard for who's in the house. And during this pandemic, I learned that I actually like my wife.
You like your wife?
Look, we all know I know I love my wife. We all got people we love, but do we like them? I like my wife. I found out I like my wife.
Well, I'm pretty sure she likes you too.
Oh yeah, we were in the house for like I don't know how many days. The whole 2020 had several assortment groupings, sets of knives, razor blades. There was guns in the house. We had all kinds of bats, crowbars, and we went through the whole pandemic, no scars. Now one scar, all the scars on the inside. You can't even see them.
Wow.
I'm only scarred on the inside, so it's all good, bro.
You're able to hide your scars very well, sir.
Hey, winning.
Oh my God. Yo, I knew this was going to be a funny interview. I just didn't know I was going to be crying over here.
I'm sorry. I was crying for a while. I was absolutely crying for a while. Because there's highs and there's lows, and I was in tears. But I tell you what, I turned them tears into fear. And once you turn them tears into fear, you run. Now you ain't got time to cry. You got to get the hell up out of there. You running, running far away until I came to a point where I said, "Hey, I'm running away from myself. I need to stop, chill, relax, take an assessment, and I have to kind of reinvent myself." I was really in a depressive state, man, during this point. I'm not working. I'm an unemployed comedian. I'm not working. I'm not able to do my craft because now the actual thing that I do is talk. It created the virus, the grouping. When we were on ships on top of each other, man, wasn't that crazy? We were on top of each other. The comedy clubs were crowded with people. It was just a natural environment for the spreading. So to try to translate what I did on stage to this format, this two-dimensional, it was not hard. Or rather, it was not easy for me. Didn't do a lot of gigs in the last year, so maybe 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I did a lot of writing, didn't do a lot of venting, didn't do a lot of performing.
Oh, so you got a lot of new material you're sitting on right now.
I'm sitting on so much material, dog, I think I'm gay.
Oh my goodness, man. When did you realize you had a passion for comedy?
I realized I had a passion for comedy after. It was pretty recent. I'm saying like within the last few decades, because I think when people ask me how did I get started, I always said, well, comedy found me. I was a class clown. I was voted the class clown in high school, but I turned it down because I thought it was in my mind, I was like, no, I ain't gonna be no clown. I'm not gonna be a senior in high school and I'm going out like that. But people, even my enemies, people I fought in school, we were still friends because they were like, yo, dude, you make me laugh. So I think when I actually did an open mic many years ago in the 80s and still couldn't call myself a comedian. And I think after maybe 10, 20 years, I don't know, at some point, I started getting feedback that people appreciated me and that I was doing something that was beneficial to others. And that's when I'm like, yeah, I like that. That's what I wanted to do. It wasn't the applause. It was the fact that I thought I was doing something good for someone. You know what I mean? Or that someone benefits. And they told me that. I got that feedback. It's like instant gratification that, I don't know, it's immeasurable. So that created the want to do more. And you feeling good makes me feel good. And I got something to say. Now, you're listening to me too. I'm really influencing you somehow. That's like, I'm good. I mean, yeah, I'm still trying to get rich. But I'm settled. And it's a different kind of success. So I'm cool with that.
Well, as long as you're okay and you can pay your property taxes, I guess you're doing pretty good.
Paying property taxes, mama's taxes. I'm paying. I'm buying baby's drawers. I'm not talking about baby. I'm talking about baby.
Well, that's different. Yeah. That's different. You married her, so you have to buy her drawers.
Oh, hell no. She's a grown-ass woman. She can get her own drawers. But
you got to go get all her sanitary napkins and everything, man. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you got to start carrying her purse around for her, too. Yeah. That's what you got to do next.
I just wrote this bit. I'm like, look, I love you women, but you got to give the fellas a break here. You want equal rights. You want equal status. You want equal pay. You want stop sending me out for feminine products. You want us to stop telling you what to do with your body? Stop sending me out for Vagisil. I don't know. Is it the purple bottle? Is it the pink bottle? Which one is it? I don't know which one to get. What is it supposed to stop odor or the itch? Which one? I don't know. And then I was just going for cookies and ice cream. Now I got to go and get something. That's why they call it feminine products. Because it's for feminine. I don't tell you to go, hey baby, can you go out and pick up my dick cream? I ain't sending my woman out for no dick cream. I'm not sending my woman out for any product that has to do with my manliness. Do I send you out for Old Spice? No.
What if you send her out, she gets a Christmas gift, and it happens to be the Old Spice gift collection?
And I know she didn't shop. I know she waited, and I know she just bought that about an hour ago. That's usually the last day on the shelf. Old Spice and Brew. And she got the Old Spice because I hate green.
Oh, so she rather give you something that you like, clear and white.
Transparent, yeah. Very much like her. She's from Bulgaria.
Oh, okay. Who are your greatest influences?
With regards to comedy, I would say, my answer would be Charlie Barnett, who is a comedian from the New York area, who was a street performer and someone that I saw every week for a decade or so, over a decade in Washington Square Park in New York. And after going to the clubs that night, Saturday evening, we would end up in the park. At some point, Charlie would come through the park and do comedy. I watched this guy for years. Just watched him how he handled the crowd, how he made me laugh, how the things he spoke about, how I identified with it. And it was imbued into me, not knowing what I was soaking in. Later on, of course, listening to Richard Pryor and Moms Mabley, Red Fox, George Carlin. So when I got older and started getting into the comedy, trying to find out what I'm actually doing, these are the people I listened to: Carlin, Pryor, Red Fox. I listened to old school. I'm an old head. So anybody. I listened to Jack Benny. Jack Benny is the king of timing. Old dude. But technique is technique. And technique doesn't get old. So I watched people that I admired, even up to date now. Got a chance to work with a lot of people through the time that started: Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Jimmy J.J. Walker, Joe Rogan, Sam Kinison, Dennis Wolford, Andrew Dice Clay, D.L. Hughley, worked with the Temptations, Roberta Flack. Mama, what was this? Mr. Sticky Sticky, Mama, testing off it. He was an old banjo player, man.
Red Skelton?
Great, we'll go with Red Skelton. Yeah, so I opened for Red Skelton. And so it was just a lot of these people that I opened for and worked with. I was very fortunate.
You just hip dropping a lot of heavy hitters. How about Eddie Murphy, man? Are you older than Eddie Murphy?
Maybe.
The reason why I'm asking, because you ain't name dropped him, man. I was just wondering, because if you're older than him, then I could see that he would look at you as one of his superheroes.
No. I think Eddie Murphy's probably a little younger than me. We're probably in the same decade. But no, he was I absolutely love Eddie Murphy. Funny. I mean, to this day, ice cream. But he's not someone that I love the way he wrote. I love the way he acted, but he was not someone that I focused on. I focused more on Cosby. I focused more on Mitch Hedberg. I focused more on Stephen Wright. I focused more on these people that were just solid in who they were. Eddie Murphy he was very observational. He was very entertaining. He did great impressions. His energy was outrageous. His charisma was even more outrageous. But as a stand-up comedian, he stands alone. He did very little. When I say very little, I mean, when you look at the base of work, his majority of his work is comedic acting, not stand-up comedy. Eddie Murphy's probably one of the most underrated A-listers ever in Hollywood. He was doing things before a lot of people were. He carried films time after time after time. Even his bad films like Pluto Nash are good now. But as far as a stand-up, raw, delirious, his SNL, that's his legacy. I mean, raw and delirious is his stand-up legacy.
Yeah, I've heard some old Eddie Murphy comedy tapes, before he brought out Delirious. And during his SNL runs, he would do stand-up at the Comedy Store and places like that. He put these skits on tape. And that was one funny dude, man.
Absolutely funny. He was also at the Strip a lot. So I'm trying to get into the comic strip. And so I'm trying to pass. And Lucian Holmes was who ran the room. I got his name, Lucian Holmes. So I go in, I do my set. I'm only 2, 3 years, 4 years in the game. Very green. That's what he said. He said, so he's like, Lucian, so, how'd I do? I'm with my manager at the time. How'd you do? He says, well, we already have a black comedian. You seem very green. He's talking about Eddie Murphy. The other black comedian they have is Eddie Murphy. So if you're going to compare me to Eddie Murphy, it's fuck, I ain't having a chance. But Eddie Murphy, as legend goes, gets his spot from SNL because Charlie can't read. So he had a spot, couldn't get the gig. Eddie is pushing and campaigning to get the spot, and he gets it. Very, very interesting. Chappelle did try to do a story about his life for years.
That'd be dope to hear what Eddie Murphy had to do to get to where he's at today. I'd like to see the making of the Eddie Murphy biography.
Yeah, great story. Absolutely great story.
When you're not you haven't been on the stage doing comedy But when you're not on the stage doing comedy, and let's just say it was a regular year, what do you usually do?
Well, I'm writing. Like I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have some tea, run the news, and then just like listen to what's going on. I might get a spark or something. And I'll get an idea for something. It doesn't even have to be a joke, just a thought, something that I thought was interesting. I'll just start writing. I'll just put it down, I'll jot it down, and, it usually goes somewhere in the subconscious to marinate. But I really tried to stay active. It wasn't easy this past year to stay active. Normally, and then the other day where I wasn't hobbled by, physical, issues, I might be out playing disc golf. I might be out just walking, hiking. I'd be out in the street. I might be just catching up on some Netflix or something like that. I got a little PS PlayStation. I don't get into it that much because it's driving. I'm a driver, so my wife goes nuts when she's hearing this engine all day. I'm doing F1, and I'm doing Wreckfest, and I'm doing some demolition there. I'm doing all kinds of cars, dirt bike. I'm doing ATV. I'm doing all that.
You got a steering wheel for your PlayStation?
No.
Your wife ain't gonna let that go down, huh?
No. Listen, I had the DJ turntable. Because I had what was that? What was that? It had one with the guitar, and it had one.
Guitar Hero?
Yeah, I was DJ Hero. I had DJ Hero.
DJ Hero?
Yes, I had the turntable and everything, dude.
I need that game.
Yeah, see, now it would be an amazing thing for you to have right now. It would be a classic toy right now.
I would bring that on stage, and I would just be doing Guitar Hero in front of all the people watching me on stage.
Dude, I'm sure you can find it if you really want it. That would be an amazing novelty set, man, to do a guitar DJ Hero set. That would be amazing.
You sent us a comedy clip. What are we going to see on this clip? Break it down for us.
Okay, so most of these clips that I have on my YouTube channel are from the Punchline. My comedy comes from me, very storytelling, very much a storytelling style. In addition to just crazy off-center remarks, some oblique interactions with audience members and things of that nature. I am horrible at remembering jokes. You know how many times people have come to me and tell me a joke, and I'm like, so I purposely try to get a joke into a set, more for me than the audience, and I have to find something that I think is funny to tell. So this is one of those jokes that after a show ownership, an actual fan, dude, down south, told me a joke, which was really cool because it wasn't a racist joke. It was just funny. And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. And I said, I am stealing that. He said, you go! So I did. And from the first time I told it, I loved it. But then I switched it up. I didn't switch it up. I just acclimated it to me. I threw in a couple of zhuzhes here, spiced it up, didn't lengthen it, just made it a little tighter for what I do. And tell it nowhere, no matter when during the set, I'll tell it. I just throw it out there when I think I need it. And I just love telling it. I love people's audience. I love when people don't get it. It's even greater. It's even more fun for me when I tell the joke and people don't get it. So if you hear this, you see this, and you don't get it, I'm laughing. I'm laughing right now.
Oh boy, it's too bad the people on the podcast cannot see Derrick Eason's face. So let me just say to you guys that are listening to this on the podcast, he's very, very animated. He really is. So without further ado, folks, people on YouTube, you can watch this video clip of Derrick Eason telling his joke about, well, here it is. And of course, the people you can listen to this on the podcast. So people in podcast land, check out this clip right now.
Two midgets. Oh, sorry. Are there any midgets here? Right there, okay. And there, okay. Not you two. Two midgets. They're brothers. Siblings, not black. They want to go out and have a good time. They want to go out and meet two tall chicks. So they actually go to the club, have a great time, and actually meet two tall chicks. They have a great time. Now they want to take them back to the hotel room. They get them back to the hotel room, and they get adjoining rooms. One brother takes his girl in with a bottle of Jack. They talk, they drink, they talk, they drink, they talk, they drink. She falls out. Now he's mad. He's really pissed because he hears his brother in the next room. And his brother is going all night long. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the girl is just giggling all night. Next morning, the brothers get together and they're comparing notes. The brother says, hey man, how'd you make out? The brother says, man, my girl was a bust. All she wanted to do was drink my liquor and fall asleep, and that's what she did. And I heard you, brother, all night long, Mr. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, giggle, giggle, giggle. How was your night? He said, man, I couldn't get on the fucking bed.
Now, that was some funny stuff, man. I'm telling you, Derrick Eason, you're one of the funniest comedians I have ever seen in a long time, especially on the Carnival cruise ships. I'll tell you something, folks. When I saw Derrick Eason, I couldn't believe how funny he is. He made me laugh so hard, I almost cried, literally. And when he called the people on the stage, I looked at my wife. I said, hey, I got to get on that stage. I got to go on that stage. He calling people, I'm going to go up. And so I got on the stage and he said, all right, tell us some jokes. So I was like, all right, I got a joke. It's an old joke, but I'm going to tell it anyway. And then I go and tell him the joke. I said, well, your mother's so fat every time she turns around, it's her birthday. Then I proceeded to turn around. Every time she turns around, it's her birthday. Oh, in a slow moving circle like the earth would, rotate. And then I walked off the stage and I dropped this invisible mic because he wouldn't let me hold his. So I guess I had to drop my own invisible mic. I dropped it and I kept walking. And then I didn't look back. That was probably the most memorable experience in Derrick Eason's comedic life that he ever had. That's why he remembered me. And when I posted this stuff back on Instagram and I tagged him, he's like, oh my God, I remember you, dude. Because you don't meet too many MC Andrew Loves in the world. You really don't. Can you tell us some of your experiences you've had since you've been doing comedy?
Oh man. You're absolutely memorable. I remember so many. I remember doing a show in Massachusetts, and there was a couple in the front row, and they were just into each other. Every time I said something, she said something to him, he said something to her. They started kissing him. Just touching, feeling all over the place. And I finally stopped and I thought I was distracted. I said, excuse me, what is going on here? Y'all just won't need, you realize there's a show going on. What is this, a blind date or something? And she said, yes, he's blind.
Wow. Wait. If he's blind, how is he kissing her lips?
Oh, he found them or she found his. Oh, they was doing it. Bro, I'm telling you. And so I sit there befuddled, just like I did, and I said, well, thank God, because right now I look like a dick.
Oh my goodness.
I remember one time I was talking, and this happened pretty recently, and if anybody doesn't believe it, you can ask Doug Williams, comedian out west. He was working with me on the show. Doing a set, and I'm talking, I do my show, I'm pretty conversational with the audience to the point where I may not be asking you a question, but I still get responses from people. I said something about ladies, and there's a couple sitting up front, and the guy said, nope. I let it go and I continue on with my premise. He's like shaking his head now. No. And I'm like, what? Okay, what do you disagree about? He continues to tell me his point. I'm like, dude, no, you should stop. That's not true. Your lady's right there. She's telling you to stop. You should stop. And he's loud. Now he's like, no, you're not going to tell me what I should do and what I should do. You know, how it's gotten to the point where every time he speaks, she's like tugging on him to be quiet. And I'm like, dude, you need to just stop. Finally, she gets up and leaves. Now, this is like in the front row. Everybody sees it. The audience goes nuts. Ooh, ooh. I'm like, dude. I said, dude, go get your woman, man. Go get your woman. What do you... He says, because of you. It's you. He gets up, and while he's walking out toward, he's yelling at me. And then just as he gets to the portion of the stage where the steps are, he rushes the stage. And he's coming at me with his fist ready to fly. I take 2 steps back. I grabbed the mic stand. I must have looked like Ahab ready to bust Moby Dick a new one because I'm standing ready to javelin this dude with the mic stand. All of a sudden, the club manager comes out. Now, he's like 3 foot nothing, a little short dude, but he was really full of heart. And he gets between, no, Derrick, no, it's no. He goes, no, Derrick, no, it's not worth it. Don't do it, Derrick. Meanwhile, other people are grabbing, but it's see, that'll never happen on Zoom.
No, you ain't gonna have to worry about somebody rushing the stage on Zoom.
No, but at the same time, it's that danger that's that live aspect, that tangibility that you're right there. That makes stand-up comedy so much more exciting when it's live.
I was watching this live stand-up comedy show they did in, I can't remember exactly what city, probably was New York, but it was they had a stage and then they had cars in the audience and everybody was sitting in their cars like it was a drive-through comedy stuff club.
Yeah, I had.
So what if you piss somebody off so much that they drive the car into the stage?
Then you probably shouldn't do that material again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I would think, maybe you should have, maybe you should have read the room a little better. Read the parking lot a little better.
Yeah, who's got big cars here? Because those are the people I don't want to offend.
Yeah, exactly. If you see somebody sitting in like a Crown Vic, you don't want to be trying to set them off the wrong direction. Or a Cadillac. You don't want nobody in like no 76 Cadillac, Eldorado.
Because those when cars were cars and their bodies are steel.
Made with metal, and the fins, they had fins, and they were several tons, not just a punk ass 2,000 pound car. That was a Fender back in the day.
Yeah, I remember I had a '78 Chrysler Cordoba. That was my first car.
Wow, my first car was a Ford Granada. What was it? No, Mercury Monarch.
A Mercury Monarch? My God, that was way back when.
Okay, we don't need
that
to
was that was the time. That was the time when they made those cars. That was the time when you used your feet to drive the car. I remember those days. And you had the dinosaurs pulling shit. And you probably had the Pony Express going along the way, didn't you? That's going on. That's how they delivered the mail back then.
No, we didn't even have the Pony Express. We just had a big blanket, a fire, and we just send up some smoke.
And your TV was an AM radio, wasn't it? Yes, it was.
Your TV was anything that passed in front of your face.
Yeah, man. Do you have any advice for the youngins that are coming up that want to be comedians?
I do. Okay, it's 2020. I'm going to be real with this. It's 2021. If the only place you have ever done comedy is online, you are not a stand-up comedian. That's not a bad thing. Just understand the difference. You're an online comedian. You're a humorist. And yes, you can still have material, but you are not a stand-up comedian. A stand-up comedian is one who stands in front of real people, gets real responses, and makes the adjustments. So I would say that as soon as you're able to there's so many people out there right now Drew, that are so funny, but they're funny on this platform. And they don't understand the other variables involved in the craft, mic work, stage presence, charisma, all these other things that are necessary when you're in a real forum, standing in front of a real audience. And they have to work those things out. This is a great platform to work out your material, tone, timing, these type of things. But when you're actually present in front of people, you got to do something else. So you have to have a little more than that. So I would say, as soon as you're able, folks, get back out there, find the stages, do the time, and just do the time. Yeah, do the time, and stay as universal as possible with your material. The more universal you can stay, the more places you'll be able to work, and the easier it will be to do local funny wherever you are, because you're dealing with the human condition, not necessarily with that particular community. And you can talk about your local community too, make sure that it's translatable to people who don't live in your community. That's what I would say. Be universal. Get out there and get as much stage time as you can. Don't be afraid to fail, because that's how you really can. That's how you learn your lessons. You have to fail. If you're afraid to fail, then you're really afraid to learn the craft, because you can't be funny all the time. I've seen Richard Pryor bomb. I've seen all the greats do it. It's because it's part of the craft. It's not you. It's part of the craft. You have things to work out.
Do you have a process in creating certain skits or certain jokes? Do you have, like, before you go on stage, let's say at a typical night at the Punchliner Comedy Club, and you just do you have a process before you go on the stage?
Absolutely have a process. I mean, the general process of going through the general process to prepare for a set, just getting a lineup, making sure that your segues or your continuity is there, and if you want to throw in some new material, where to put that new material in your lineup, so it's not just there, it's staying on its own. You have something to anchor it in the front and in the middle, and at the end of it, And of course, on ships are very, very different. At least they were when I was there. I don't know. I haven't been back. We do 5 shows on a cruise, and the same people would come back. If they liked you, the same people came back to see your show again. As opposed to here, where if you go to a club, people come in, they go home. New crowd come in. So if you're on a show, so theoretically, someone can come see you 5 times. So if you want to do the same thing, that's up to you. If you didn't, you kind of switch it up and you try to expand your repertoire, material, and abilities to entertain people every time they can. So they can get a new experience every time they see you. So in that aspect, I really worked. So when I'm on the ships, I have 5 different half-hour sets. You won't see me repeat a show or a joke. So that's 5 different half-hour sets. That's 2.5 hours of all fresh material. 2 of those, and 1 of those hours is all family material, right? Because we were doing 2 family shows and 3 R-rated shows. So an hour of that 2.5 hours is all family related. And that other hour and a half can be also transitioned for family too. It's keeping it universal. So in addition to the material or the things that I should still continue to be writing, and I always have something on deck, So I got those shows plus my new ideas that I want. It's a never-ending process. So always in the lab, we should be always writing. Comedians are writers first. You're as a DJ, you're I think a researcher first, because when you start digging into crates, you want to find something that's going to connect with your crowd. You have to know how to read your crowd. So if I got somebody coming, young people coming in, I want someone to touch them. R&B crowd, I want to know who's coming in. When I did those shows on the ship, and I knew they were repeating, I knew these people were coming in. I had something for them. I want to read the room always, right? Yeah, read the room before you start the gig, while you're doing the gig, and after the gig. Read the room.
That's dope. I'm digging the vibes, man. Do you have any burning desires?
Sure, I do. I have the desire just to be successful I have a desire to be peace. I have a desire to, serve others, however I can. So, to be useful. I have a desire to be useful.
Well, you keep making people laugh the way you make me laugh. You're as useful as a $10 bill.
Damn, dog. That's a Happy Meal.
Yeah, because a Happy Meal costs $10 nowadays.
That's a Happy Meal. I don't go cool with that.
Hey, listen, I like Happy Meals because they do the job, man. I don't need all that extra stuff. I don't need the Big Mac, the double quarter pounder. Give me a cheeseburgers, a value fries, and a Coke all day.
Cool with that. I got you. And I don't eat McDonald's, but, I just like the Happy Meal. Happy Meal can be anything that makes you happy. And you eat it.
Yeah, especially if it tastes good. It really makes you happy. I mean, I'm just appreciative that you had the time to come by to Let's Chat and Jam and hang out. It's really cool, man, to see you here across from me. And I can't wait to see you on stage again because you're one funny comedian. And everybody that checks out Derrick Eason, like you can go to his YouTube channel and check out all his video clips over there because I'll tell you something, I got one of his DVDs and it was one of his long sets. And this brother here, Derrick Eason, is one talented comedian. And I tell you definitely should go tap in on YouTube and check out what he has in store for you. And of course, I'm pretty sure that Derrick Eason has a place where you can purchase these DVDs if you choose to.
Everything at I am Derrick Eason. I am Derrick Eason. Instagram, Facebook, tweet me, twat me, whatever you want to do to me. Just get at me. I got you. I'm old school, and I got you.
See, he said slide into his DMs, and he got you. That's it. America and the world is I, MC Andrew Love. Let's Chat and Jam. My special guest, Derrick Eason, out of Philadelphia. This brother here is one talented, amazing comedian. You can actually laugh at his jokes because he has jokes that make you think, and he has jokes that just make you forget that you even had pants on because you just...
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm in the struggle right now, bro. It's ain't easy living in Philly, looking like I'm living through it, yo. It ain't easy, yo. So help a brother out.
He just got out, man. He just got out.
That's what they say to me. Yo, bro, I'm glad to see you out the street. Well, I don't even know you, man. What are you talking about? Who? I can't walk the street smiling, man. I can't. I walked out the street and smiled at some woman. She slapped me. I'm like, look, I'm like, hey, lady, it ain't like I offered you a drink.
Man, but thank you for coming through the show, man. I do appreciate your time. You're one awesome dude, man.
Thanks for having me, bro. I really appreciate your invitation.
Yes. And since you've been here for the first time, you've now become part of the Let's Chat and Jam fam. It means you don't have to wait for MC to call you up and say, hey, Derrick, you want to come to my show, plug something? Nah, you can hit me up and come to my DMs and say, MC, I got something to talk about. I got something I want to promote. I'm going to do it on your show. And I'm going to say, deal, you in, let's go. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And anyway, I want you to stay safe out there in Philly, please. Whatever you do, stay safe. And everybody else, y'all stay safe. And just remember, if you got a dream, you can go for your dream. Because only you could stop you. And nothing, and I mean nothing, folks, beats a failure but a try. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. Also, like and share the content, as well as hit the notification icon so you don't miss a conversation with series right here on Let's Chat and Jam.